What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, so for none other than Trash Deck Thursday, we are looking at a deck that could potentially beat or be designed to beat the deck of the week. Now, this week we did talk about Regieleki VMAX as well as Miraidon EX with tech cards like Raikou V as well as Flying Pikachu. And today we are going to show a deck that is considered rogue that should in theory beat the matchup almost every time. And that deck that we're talking about today is none other than Inteleon VMAX paired with Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. Now, this deck is designed to spread damage counters, do as much damage as possible in one turn, and then continuously loop the same effects over and over to take your prizes. Now, the gist of this deck, with Inteleon VMAX Double Gunner, you can discard a water energy and put 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this sets up math nicely with things like Urshifu VMAX, where you can use that Gmax Rapid Flow to discard all the energy, and it does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if you double gunner twice and use Gmax Rapid Flow, you're doing 160 damage to that Pokemon. And then the nice cards that you can actually pair it with are things like Radiant Alakazam that let you move damage counters. And finally, the nice piece of the combo is Medicham V. Now, Medicham V has a unique attack called Yoga Loop, where you put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if it's knocked out by the attack, you get to take another turn. So in theory, it's like the time skip attack from Dialga V-Star, except this is more if you get the KO, and it only requires 2 energy. And the other cards that are paired with it, we do run 2 Drapion for Mew, but also we do run Drapion V-Star. The Hazard Star ability does come in nicely when you are able to Yoga Loop into Hazard Star into setting up multiple knockouts for the following turn, because it means that due to them being paralyzed and poisoned, they're taking 6 damage counters to pass their turn back to you from poison, and there's not much that they can really do. The deck is designed to be fast, the deck is designed to be consistent, so this is overall the list that we're going to use. If you do want to try this list, be sure to check the description. The list will always be down there, and you can just copy and paste it right into the application. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you again to Zach for helping me get this video. He was piloting the deck of the week, which was Miraidon with Regieleki VMAX. Really good game, really solid. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you in the gameplay. Alright guys, this is the game against Miraidon. We are playing the Inteleon VMAX, Urshifu VMAX. We are playing against Miraidon and Zach is piloting it. We're trying to see if this deck can actually do well against Regieleki. It's technically designed to beat it if you factor in weakness and the ability to spread a ton of damage. So we're going to see exactly how this works. The reason why this deck is so good too is especially against things like this. You hit 120 with Urshifu VMAX, you move 20 damage to, let's say, Raikou with Alakazam, that's 140, and you have 2 quick shootings. That's 180 plus Yoga Loop. It's a lot to ask for in a deck, but this deck is kind of designed to do that. Now, looking at our opening hand, we don't really have the best start. And not to mention that the Melanie kind of throws things for a loop. I am going to probably have to give up 2 prizes here, which is something I really don't want to do. So we're going to Force Seal Stone. We're going to have to Force Seal Stone for the... Let's see. I could draw a lot of cards if I choose to grab Ultra Ball instead, because I could Ultra Ball away the Clara and the Water Energy and then Melanie, because I don't have another way to get rid of it. And I need to be able to see more cards this turn. So let's grab the Ultra Ball. We're going to Ultra Ball, discard the energy as well as the Clara. We're going to grab the Urshifu. We're going to attach to the Urshifu Melanie. Well, Melanie. And we did actually draw the pass, which is fantastic. So we can pass to Inteleon. And let's see what else. Let's go Inteleon Remoraid. Because if he takes the prizes on here, I need to be able to come back. So we're going to end our turn here. We're most likely going to be KO'd, which is unfortunate and not fun at all. So there's the Regieleki VMAX, so he has the free retreat. So let's see, he does Generator and he is retreating. He is going to use Fly for a lot of damage, or he can Thundershock. If he chooses a Thundershock though, I don't think that that's the right. Okay, so yeah, there's the Fly. And he can actually prevent damage. Thankfully, he did not hit heads. So okay. Now looking at this hand, I'm not as stressed for what is to come. The only issue is that I don't have an Urshifu VMAX in play, which kind of mitigates things. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to Octillery. And let's see. If I evolve into the VMAX, he can KO and get 3 prizes, and I really don't want to deal with that right now. So we are going to use the Octillery. We're going to Octillery first. We're going to grab the Karina's Focus because we do need to try and draw cards this turn. We'll use the Double Gunner. I want to try and set up enough prizes. And we're going to Karina's Focus. Now, Karina's Focus, fortunately, we didn't draw the best of hand. I really wish that we hit a Stadium. But here we're just going to have to pass. And he's not going to take any damage if he flips heads, which means he's going to hit for an immense amount of damage. But the following turns, they shouldn't be as bad. So I think right now, I'm going to just hold on to this hand. I could have benched the Remoraid, but I can't use more than 1 Rapid Strike Search each turn, so there's really no point to it. So there's the Forest Seal Stone, and he is going to be able to grab the Flying Pikachu VMAX. Or Supporter. Okay, there's the Research, so I'm assuming that that's what he grabbed. He does need to hit. There's the Generator. Wow, he's having so much setup this turn. And he's going to be quite a few prizes ahead. Wow, another Fly. He didn't hit the VMAX. That's unfortunate. And we do actually survive once again. So this has been a very stalemate of a game. So we're going to hit 120. So we can do 120, 120. That'd be 140. And Zach just sent me a text message saying he hates this game, which I totally agree with. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to Double Gunner. We're going to put 20 on Miraidon again, 20 on Miraidon again, because we can set up the Yoga Loops in order to have our turns come back. What's in the discard? I do feel comfortable getting rid of this hand. I really wish I didn't have to get rid of an Urshifu VMAX. With our Clara already being gone, but with him dead drawing, I think we're in a solid spot, and we actually do hit the Towers of Water. So we can use the Towers of Water. We can use the Octillery. We're going to grab the VMAX again. We're going to evolve. We'll use energy retrieval. We'll grab 2 energy. And from this point, next turn we can Nest Ball and then use Octillery to search. So we'll double Gunner again. And we'll put 20 on the Miraidon again and 20 on the Miraidon again. Now, next turn, let's see. We're going to retreat. And VMAX Rapid Flow. We're going to put 120 on a Regieleki and then 120 on a Miraidon. Because next turn, I'm going to Yoga Loop regardless. I have a way to get it out. So I'm not stressed as to what I can do, because next turn I can Inteleon VMAX, put 20 here, and then Yoga Loop, take those prizes, and then potentially set up enough to... Okay, so there's the Regieleki VMAX, which is annoying. Thankfully, he won't be able to hit quite enough damage to KO the Urshifu. And with having the 1 energy in hand plus the Alakazam, we can get the KO with the Yoga Loop and keep our turn going, which means we'll have another attach return from Melanie. So I think we're in a really good spot. So there's the Regieleki VMAX. I'm going to assume that he doesn't have the Pikachu VMAX, otherwise he would have played it by now. So there's the Thundershock. He is trying to paralyze, and he does hit the paralyze, which is unfortunate. So now we can't retreat. Now let's see, what is the best way to go about this turn? We're going to Nest Ball first, and we're going to check Yoga Loop, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, so Yoga Loop will still work even if he brings the Miraidon to the active, so I'm not too stressed now. So we're going to do this. We are going to use Inteleon VMAX's Double Gunner. And we are going to put 20 on the Miraidon. That way we have another turn. And we are going to put 20 on the Regieleki. We're going to use Octillery. We do have 2 energy left. I wish we had more than that. Thankfully, we have the back-to-back turns. So we can attach to the Medicham Escape Rope. So that way he has to promote something new. And we're going to be able to continue our turn next turn. So we will bring up the Medicham. Okay, and then we will use the Melanie to attach here. We're going to draw 3 new cards. We do have the Radiant Alakazam as well. So here we're going to Yoga Loop. And we'll put 20 on the Miraidon. This KOs it, and it goes back to our turn for the checkup. So we get 2 Nest Balls, which is fantastic. And we do draw a Water Energy. Okay, so looking at this turn, the first thing we're going to do is Double Gunner. And that's going to be at 180. It's going to be at even more with the Alakazam. So I can KO it this turn, which sets him back a ton. This Reggie only has 150 health left. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to Rapid Strike Search, see what's in the deck still. We do have the 1 energy left. And looking, we don't have any more retrievals, and we have 2 energy left. So worst comes to worst, we can still swing with the Inteleon. But the question is, do I want to KO this right now? I can do 120 and 120. That would put it at 280, which means 2 Inteleons take the last prizes. So I think that's what I'm going to go for, because then I can also see more cards off of the prizes. So we're going to escape rope. We're going to bring up the Urshifu. We're going to bench the Alakazam. We'll attach the energy, because this gives us more time to do quite a bit more damage next turn. So we'll do the 120 to the Miraidon, and then we'll do 120 to the Regieleki VMAX. Now if he KOs us, we can Yoga Loop the Miraidon and have an extra turn, which all I'm looking for at this point is just double Inteleon. So here he chooses to concealed cards. 15 cards left in the deck. This has been kind of a slow game, but it's also shown the power of having to actually try and think about how the turns are going to factor through. As I said, we don't have any more energy. 1 energy is prized. There are 2 in here, 1 here, and we don't have any more of the Rapid Strike energy, which is unfortunate. So he is choosing a new active Pokemon. He chooses the Miraidon. And he chooses to boss his order, the Medicham. So he is able to KO us, which is fine. It's unfortunate, but looking at this hand, I'm going to have to promote the Octillery, which is unfortunate because it is my search. Now let's see. We know that we don't have the energy. What we're gonna have to do is Painful Spoons. We're gonna have to move 20 damage to the Miraidon in order to KO it, because we need to see if we can find the other energy. And we actually do, which is fantastic. Okay, so here he chooses to promote the Flying Pikachu, which is fine. Now looking at how I want this turn to go, I only have 2 water energy left. But if I can hit the 2 water energy, then next turn I can win with doing double gunner and then moving with Alakazam. And if he KOs the Alakazam, then that's going to be very unfortunate. But what we're going to do right now is actually, let's see. We're going to Nest Ball to Finn. Now looking at what's in our deck, we do have the Irida. We have a energy. We do have another research. So assuming we hit the research, we can draw the rest of our deck. So I want him to take the KO on Urshifu. So we'll Rapid Strike Search. We'll grab the tower. Lay down the tower. We're going to retreat. And then we'll research. Okay, and so now, let's see. We have the double gunner. He can KO us next turn, which is unfortunate. And we're only hitting 120. But my best bet right now is to double gunner at this moment, because I still have at least 1 energy. So if he doesn't KO, then we can at least still use G-Max Rapid Flow. So we're going to use Inteleon. We're going to put 20 on the Regieleki VMAX and 20 on the... We'll put 20 on the other Regieleki VMAX. And we're just gonna have to Gale Thrust for 120. Now we have to hit the other water energy, which, looking at our hand, let's see, there's 2 cards that could hit. So that's a 1 in 3. We have around a 33% chance of drawing one of the cards that I want to actually draw. So there's the research. It's unfortunate that he hasn't gotten the Flying Pikachu yet. So he's getting rid of the beach court to get rid of the tower. We do have 5 energy and 3 energy. There's the 4th, so we have 1 more water energy in deck. This deck is very complex to play. You get to move around damage counters a lot. It reminds me a lot of Flygon Dusknoir from the old Boundaries Cross days. So he chooses to Ultra Ball. He did play the research, so we don't have to worry about a boss. So there's the Ultra Ball for the Flying Pikachu. Wow, this video has been 18 minutes long. That's insane. So he could fly, but assuming we find a way to get the water energy, we can win. But it really comes down to it. And he hits the heads, so it prevents all damage. Okay, so we have the 4 Steel Stone. Sadly, we already used Stone. So as for this turn, we'll Irida for Ultra Ball. Let's look at what our last 2 prizes are. The VMAX and the Ultra Ball. Okay. We're going to Ultra Ball for Ultra Ball and Echoing Horn. We're just thinning the deck as much as possible because I need to be able to draw this energy the next turn. So we're going to Rapid Strike Search. We are going to grab the tower. Now the only cards in our deck are the water energy as well as the research. So we're going to move the 2 damage counters to this Regieleki. That way, if he KOs the Alakazam, at least the damage is on there. And Gale Thrust isn't going to do anything, so we're going to attach and let's see. And it seems for some reason that we're paralyzed, but it's okay. So we are going to pass. He does play Beach Court. Now, assuming that there's no way for him to actually heal damage, we should be okay. So there's the Serena. He is discarding his hand to draw the last 5 cards in his deck. And this game actually went down to the wire because we're both just drawing through everything. He got down to 1 prize card. And we'll just promote the Alakazam. And we did draw the research. So we'll just research, get the last energy. So we have no cards in hand, no cards in deck. And we'll put 20 on the Regieleki, 20 on the Greninja. That KOs the Regieleki, and we are able to take 3 prizes. That was a really close game. I actually really enjoyed that. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, remember to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I've been trying to give some more commentary just so that way you guys can actually hear everything that's going on in my prizes breakdown and how I want to play my turns. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's final standings Friday for Miraidon.